don't know what you're going to do to be able to contain Bin, but you got to deal with that. You also are going to have to deal with Knight. Like, Caps is going to have to change and learn something right now, too, to be able to deal with Knight. And the solo lane problem, like, that is the first problem they're going to have to tackle, and then think about some team fights afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like anybody who's played League of Legends for a long enough time has had one of those days where you're just in the zone, the match history's all blue, you're carrying every game, and I feel like Bin and Knight are both in that state of mind right now. These two have both just been playing so incredibly well, and the rest of the team, of course, not asleep at the wheel either. So let's get in to our third champ select here, powered by Omen and HyperX. G2 have elected for second pick, and BLG have chosen the blue side. We have the Karma and Bard banned out by BLG, so they're focusing on those support matchups, those potential powerful laners that they could have to go up against. Meanwhile, G2 are focusing on mid lane. It's Orianna and Ryze banned away by the EU squad.
A lot of support focus here as well. Let's, with Nico out, Karma out, Bard out. You know, it's about time for like a Yunara Lulu. I'm feeling.
Okay.
You know, I feel like that. It's about time for somebody to do a Yunara Lulu lane.
Jarvan and Rumble, both parts of the hot pot. Final bans of our first half.
Yeah, because like there's no Karma Ezreal to punish it. There's no Nautilus lane to punish it. So I got a feeling.
I think BLG and you guys are in a, you guys got the synced up brain here. The Lulu, the first pick here, and Lulu loves playing next to hyper carries.
Yeah.
So I'm curious now what they're going to draft next to that and how G2 is going to try to stop it.
I mean, I think it's going to be Yunara. G2 could take it away and play with something else, or they can preemptively take something that could be hard for her to play into. You know, even with the Karma out, you can do other things that are like super long range and good poke here. Pushing lane with Caitlyn maybe type of thing where we can get a Caitlyn plus
Lux.
Some sort, go with the binding combos.
Yeah, exactly.
The classic.
We're talking about last game, BLG banned Yasuo because they respected the solo queue pick from G2. Maybe that's the play. You just go with what works on ladder and you bring it to land. Let's see if that's what they actually want here. Caitlyn, of course, a notoriously powerful champion in lane with all the range. The cupcakes also super good to set up around objectives. We're not going to get Lux, but we will get Milio.
Okay, so Milio can also empower Caitlyn, and then also it's really hard to gank this lane. So it allows like, oh, we're going to be constantly pushing and shoving our lane and trying to get turret plate money. And then I've got the Milio, what's it called? Omega Fire Super Kick.
Ultra Mega Fire Kick.
Yeah, Ultra Mega Fire
I got
kick.
you. That one took me a while when he first came out.
It's annoying for people that try and gank you, but and he can also obviously buff up the Caitlyn. So that's their option into it. And there we go. We get the reveal flowers. Surprise, surprise.
I can't believe it. They picked Yunara next to the Lulu.
Yeah, kind of as expected, and it looks good. You know, expected for a reason.
Okay, and we get the Renekton here. They're going to go ahead and once more, Kobe, I feel like this is just the strat for BLG, is you're always picking Bin's champ on 3.
And then double ban, protection ban?
Yeah, and then you're protection banning
BrokenBlade?
it. So if you're G2, do you want to just go for your top laner right here? Say, all right, we've got to pick what we want before they ban away what it's probably going to be. I'm very curious if they're going to try to do that because Bin has been such a massive factor. And yes, they will. Okay, we are going to get the buttered toast of top lane matchups, Renekton versus Cassante.
Hey, you got butter on that toast? Hell yeah!
Well, that's what it's gonna be, Renekton Cassante. So this time around, G2 is gonna lock that top laner before BLG has anything else to say about the matchups. So bottom lane duos and top lanes drafted by both squads, which means mid and jungle are your ban targets here in the second half.
Okay. I mean that's like an answer lane into it. So Bin very well could get very fearsome yet again on the Renekton. We'll see though. Okay, so looking at the rest of it, obviously jungle here, big priority because so much has been taken out. All of the really like tier 1 primo jungle picks out since Pantheon was also taken in the last game and Fearless, and so they're getting it even further down past the primo picks, the Nocturne ban, the Maokai ban for the big team fighting because they know G2 have been just on this. We are tanky, we are frontline, we are team fight, we are going to stack dragons. So they take that Maokai out. I think that's a good ban here, identifying what G2 have been going for in this series from BLG. So nice removal there as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, what else are G2 worried about besides the darkness here that could allow some... Oh, yeah, the Shun special, baby.
Yep.
Shun is a kindred player, and so they want to take that out as well. It's just some of the specialty carries.
I always respect banning away towards the player and not just the meta, making sure that you don't get caught off guard like that. So double jungle ban here from G2. Will it be the same for BLG? Do they have other things they've got their sights set on? Remember, they already banned the Jarvan away in the first half of the draft. That has been banned this entire series long, and they'll take away the TF from Caps. And I think you mentioned earlier at the start of the draft, Kobe, that Caps is going to have to figure out how to deal with Knight. I don't think Caps has had a particularly impressive series so far.
No.
And historically, G2 needs Caps to really be Caps, right? If he's lowercase, G2 is going to have some problems. And right now, he's not been starting any sentences.
So BrokenBlade capitalizes Broken and Blade. SkewMond has capitalized Skew and Mond. Hansama obviously double capitals there too. So maybe Caps need to needs to capitalize the S or something also.
Yeah,
the C and the S.
Yeah, go back to when he had like the P capitalized.
Yeah,
like, I remember that was like a controversy.
Yeah,
Bring that back. Bring that back.
Need 2 capital letters here. Quick name change.
Okay. We'll get that one put into the client. Just pay your 1,000 RP or whatever it is it costs. And now we've got the Trundle picked up here for G2. Now, there's no hard tank on the side of BLG, so it's not like you're going to have one of those, oh, I'm using the Subjugate on Sion, I'm using the Subjugate on Sejuani type of things, but it is still a very effective champion.
Put it on frontline and just kill whoever's frontline. Whoever's Renekton, boom.
Yep, just make it so he's that much squishier. You were talking about high-tier junglers. Wukong is kind of the one that has slipped through so far in terms of those AD jungles that everybody plays, and that's what we get, and it's Knight Akali. So they're saying, all right, your Trundle wants to sap tanks. How about 3 divers?
Yeah, okay. Let's see. This is looking real scary because obviously G2 are trying to kite back, you know. They've got Milio on their team. They're trying to kite back and use Caitlyn range and use the protection there. And, you know, as Caps is going to go the Ahri into Knight's Akali here. Honestly, good luck. Good luck, my friend.
All right.
Because Trundle doesn't really do much to Akali for ganking. So
yeah, she just drops the smoke and she walks away. It's pretty tough to deal with.
Pillar doesn't do a whole lot.
So since the pressure is on G2 specifically in this game, they're the ones that now have to reverse sweep if they want to win. What's your game plan here from the G2 side?
I mean, the game plan looks to be the same that it has been all series long. You know, in that video, Hans was like, all right, the tournament's too short. You got to stick with what you believe, you know, can't make too many changes. So they're doing it again. They're going to go real tanky team comp. You know, they're going to try and fight some dragons, stack some dragons. They have Caitlyn, so Caitlyn's good for dragon fights. You always stack your trap line and hope that you can kind of take away some of the angles that your opponents can flank you from. You know, usually like a trap line on a ramp or something like that to remove 1 point of entry because, as you said, an Akali and a Wukong, that is very scary dive to deal with for the Caitlyn, even if you have a Milio next to you trying to peel. And so, you know, they want to get those dragons early, put up their trap lines, get their tanky Trundle and Cassante in front, and try and do it that way. And then obviously it would also really help if, you know, they could like make picks with Ahri or something like that. But that's also kind of reaching, kind of dreaming.
All right. Game number 3, do or die for G2. They've got the Milio, a champion we don't see a ton of, I feel like. Remember at the top of the day, we heard from Hans. He's saying, yeah, we still got plenty of champions that we haven't pulled out yet. I feel like when you've still got plenty of meta stuff left, like Ahri's and Trundles and Cassantes, you're probably not going to reach into the wacky bag of tricks. So if G2 can keep this one going on a little bit longer, I am truly curious on what they're going to try to pull out. But to get there, they've still got to beat BLG, and they haven't been able to do it thus far in the first 2 games.
Well, Caps just got a bunch of free damage on the walking back to lane here against Knight, so that's a really good start for him in the lane. Got 2 Foxfires and several autos as well as they're getting the lane. See how much that actually hurts Knight's attempts to CS.
Oh, but look at SkewMond. He's going to flash over the Dragon Pit wall. He only took his blue, and now he's doing the invade that his opponents cannot see to steal away the red buff. I love this creativity back at level 2.
And Flowers, it's also covered with the ward on their red. So G2 came into game 3 with a big plan for the early game.
All right, remember, live now, Act 2 Battle Pass Bundle. You can purchase this to unlock the Prestige Requiem Sona skin and Chroma. Tell them Lol Esports sent you, so they give us more money to make more cool tournaments. Hell yeah. Now, Knight stuck underneath the turret. He's still farming up just fine, but that early damage at level 1, like you said, just makes it that much easier for Caps to have priority in the range versus melee matchup. Hansama forced to flash in the 2v2 bottom lane. The Caitlyn under the early pressure from the Yunara Lulu.
It is under the early pressure. However, remember this whole early game plan from G2 is sent to split the map. So Trundle on their side behind them. Maybe they could even the flashes at the least.
Ooh, Labrov takes a ton of damage there. Cozy Campfire keep him alive, but it's first blood to On. SkewMond merely walks through. He's attending the funeral of his support and nothing more. And Viper gets another one.
Back it up.
It's G2 blood splattered all over the bottom lane. It's a disaster.
You can say that again, Flowers.
It's a disaster! Now SkewMond as well. Shun's taking up the turret. He flashes away and he won't even die in return. G2's hopes, their dreams, their chances have all but crashed and burned 2 minutes and 45 seconds into game 3.
One more time, Flowers.
It's a disaster.
Holy. Their whole early game plan built around the pushing Caitlyn, Trundle flashing over, splitting the jungle, counter jungling, coming from behind them, and
Okay, Caps flashing to the side
that is
here.
flash still, so.
I mean, honestly, I feel like if you're Knight, you're happy with that. You got Ahri flash, and you're not in danger.
You did, and Ahri got your E. And some, minions, some minions died to the tower, but oh my god, they just did so much work before the Trundle got here. On and Viper had already blown Hansama's flash, so not only does On flash in and kill the Milio, but then Viper can get the kill onto Hansama also. And Shun is here. Hey, you stole my jungle, buddy. Pay up! You're not getting out of here for free. Polymorph under tower. No damage returned. Yeah, okay.
You know what that was? That's all calculated. He takes your buff first just so you get a longer timer on your buff when you beat him in the head with a stick and take it back afterwards. BLG up 1,500 gold after that bot lane sequence. And remember, the past couple of games, it has been G2's bottom lane that's been their point of power while the games are close. It has been Hans and Labrov. What's up, buddy? Being the ones trying to keep them competitive, but now Viper and On have this advantage. Hansama's down to 300 HP. The Caitlyn, the lane bully, has been kicked out of the playground.
He got like beat up on the playground before he got kicked out. It's like, you know, On and Viper. Wait a second.
They just put him in jungle gym jail, man.
They're gonna dive here. SkewMondo's here.
Oh, but Shun is coming down, and Viper hasn't gone all the way back.
Oh.
On just having a little supportal combat here with Labrov. Wave about to crash into the turret. Ultra Mega Fire Kick does land onto On. He uses the Glitter Lance to the Polymorph to buy himself a little bit of time. The Shield 2. G2 is on full tilt. It is so far gone. 2,500 gold lead. They feel so desperate to make something happen after the early disaster, and now the forced plays are resulting in even more damage. Knight goes in and he gets a solo kill. BLG are up 6-0 5 minutes into the game.
Flowers, you said Hans got kicked off of the playground, but BLG are the bullies here. Why is Hans getting kicked off the playground? That is messed up, man.
Yeah.
We got to shut this off.
BLG runs the school. I'm sorry.
They do. They run this school called Summoner's Rift. Oh, my goodness. Can we actually show the rest of this game? Is that allowed? Like this series?
I think if somebody refreshes it at this point, it'll probably give you that 18+ warning, because this is some ultra violence that we are seeing from BLG with a 3,000 gold lead, 6 minutes into the game. This Viper's got such a massive lead on the Yunara, nearly 1,000 gold. Hans has a Doran's Blade and 2 longswords versus full Berserker Greaves and Rectrix for Viper. This is so difficult to play from this point, especially when you draft a Caitlyn lane, Kobe. You know that you're supposed to win the lane, so having to play on your back foot like this now is just such a nightmare to deal with. Shun is in the enemy jungle. They know that in a 3v3 of bot lane duo plus jungle, G2 has no way to contest them.
So when G2 drew up their early game plan, you're telling me it did not involve their bottom lane getting 3v2 double killed when they had the gank coming?
Well, now look, I don't have access to like the documents, like the team game plan or anything.
Maybe this is part of the plan.
But if I would have to bet, you said I like to take bets.
Yeah.
I'll take the bet that they probably didn't have that in the itinerary.
Okay.
Now up here in topside, this has been the only place where there's really not been any action thus far. And with no action happening, Bin still has a quiet little lead for himself on the Renekton.
I guess that's probably the best part, right? The best part for G2 is that this game is like different from the other games.
I don't know if you like this kind of different, man. I don't know if I'm a G2 fan if I like this
But
different.
it is different.
Okay. Yep.
Because before,
Sure.
Bin was the only like big old BLG lead, right?
Big old Bin.
Yeah. Well, you know, Knight also had a good big old laning lead with the Syndra game.
We got some big old boys here on BLG.
They
are
are again?
strong,
Okay, yes, sir,
man.
he is. Yep.
Knight's
Okay,
just,
buddy.
What? This is, okay, he's so good. He's so good, and Viper's going forward. He wants the kill onto Labrov. Arc of Ruin for the slow. Conway's step moves him forward, and Viper picks up kill number 3. They're between enemy turrets. They're behind enemy lines. And they got their feet up, maxing and relaxing. They are so comfortable in this game state. 8-0, 8 minutes in.
Do we allow a mercy rule to preserve the mental health of G2?
No, man, I'm pretty sure
They got to play it out.
I mean, even if you're playing ladder games, it says you may not propose a vote this early.
Yeah, true.
Right, we're 8 minutes into the game.
True. All right, play it out. Play it out. All right. All right, wipe it off. All right, let's focus up here. What can we do? What can we do? All right, first step, let's stop getting solo killed. Let's also stop getting 2v2 killed and 3v2 killed.
Well,
that's the first plan.
That's pretty tough
That's
at this
the
point.
plan, though. That's the plan, though.
It's a 4,000 gold lead.
They do have bounties on a lot of BLG members' heads. So collect the bounties is the second part.
Okay, so they've got to, if they can get a bounty, that would help a lot. Problem is,
it also
very difficult to do.
It is difficult, but you know what they say, Flowers?
What do they say?
You got to try and do hard stuff in your life, or else you're not going to get anywhere. So set some difficult goals for yourself, and even if you fail, you got to keep trying.
Okay. Hard times create tough dudes. So G2, they got some tough dudes in the making here, because these are certainly
hard times.
Hard times are upon them.
Hard times are upon them in the bot lane. And Shun is coming down to grab the Scuttle Crab, and On might even want to take your Gromp. Hey, buddy, maybe I could glitter lance this thing.
Well, they at least have the ward on it, so they know exactly where SkewMond is and what he's doing. The Crab goes over to Shun. BLG still just chilling for now. It's still only 8 kills. We're now 9.5 minutes into the game. Knight just so aggressive here on the Akali. Jumps back towards that Shuriken. As you can see, he's got his Hex Tech Alternator as well as his Sorcerer's Shoes, so lots of damage here whenever the Akali wants to go in. He's also almost got his flashback as Hans Sama, the extra range on the Cozy Campfire. If this is an even lane, if this is a normal game state, Caitlyn with Cozy Campfire has so much range, it can become so oppressive if you're stuck under your turret against this, but this is not a normal game state.
Yeah, that's why, you know, Viper constantly is going in for these longer up-close trades, just jumping in, jumping past them, burning down Hans. You know, he stacks up his Q, he stacks up his lethal tempo. Shun is here again. The minions are cleared, though.
Okay. Piltover Peacemaker did his job.
Oh, God, we got the minions.
Okay. Minions are out of the way. Dive can't happen. At least not yet. Shun is going to step up, clear away that control ward. Pick up a little bit of extra money there. And now Hans and Labrov know they cannot stay near this turret. They will 100% die against the 3v2 of BLG. Oh, boy. Okay. He's low enough on energy that I think he doesn't want to take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Bin. All right. We get a 1v1 up here in the top side. Dominus has not been used by the Crocodile here just yet. Ruthless Predator on BrokenBlade just stops him. Now Kasante's gone all out, and Renekton is still ready to become that massive Crocodile. SkewMond is going to grab the grubs, and this is the first thing that G2 have found this. Oh, no.
Got one. He got one.
Okay, all right. He got the one. He got
singular.
Grub. Okay, G2 have found Grub. The G stands for Grub.
Yeah.
However, the 2 stands for what BLG is going to get.
The 2 stands for 1.
Yeah. The 2 stands for 1. The G stands for Grub. G2 is Grub 1. It's a very complex naming system.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
No, it's beyond me.
Yeah,
but
Shun just takes the code over. He's like, you get your hands off those ugly grubs. Even though nobody really wants them, they're also still not yours.
They're also still something on the map that I can take and I want.
Get your
give it to
hands
me. Lunch money now.
Yeah.
Grub money.
Give me your lunch money and your dinner money, too.
Oh, boy. Labrov hit with a Cyclone. A little more damage from Shun. Might be able to finish him off. He jumps back in, gets the wild growth. Labrov is still alive, though. G2.
Hey, remember goal number 1? Not, stop dying.
Stop dying. And they did stop dying. Labrov stays alive. Has to use both summoner spells and the ulti to do it. BLG putting pressure onto the tier 1 turret here at the same time. Shun versus SkewMond. Trundle's still an adept duelist, even if he is behind in the game. Damage onto on there from the Piltover Peacemaker. SkewMond will get a little bit of healing from the King's Tribute as he kills the Gromp. And that just means first turret is still standing barely in the bottom lane for G2. And Knight continues to maintain that control over the mid lane. Coinbase gold grind. There's a lot of gold getting grinded in this one, man. It's,
I think G2 are getting grinded up into gold.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like one of those fancy salt shakers at the restaurant where you turn the thing yourself.
Exactly.
It's like that, sort of.
Oh, BLG. We can market some merchandise for them now.
A BLG salt grinder?
Pepper grinder.
Yeah, okay, sure, I'd buy that.
Grind them up.
Have like a big picture. No, it's a salt and pepper grinder. One has bin space, one has night space.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Viper and On, bro. They've been grinding them up in bottom lane since the beginning.
Yeah, well, then you get a couple of extra, like, smaller condiment shakers to go with that.
Or, like, their grinder's even bigger. It's like a wood chipper.
Well, how are you going to have a wood chipper on the kitchen table, man?
You're not, Oh, you're going to smash the kitchen table, I guess.
No, you put the kitchen table in the wood chipper. Okay. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
All right, we're in business here. We're in business. Gold lead, about 4,500, 13.5 minutes into the game. Viper really putting the pressure on Caps, who does not use the Spirit Rush, knows he can get back to safety without expending the ultimate. 1 minute on our Rift Herald, 4 minutes until the next Drake, so those objective timers not quite as synced up this game as they were in previous games, but there's a lot about this game that's different from the 2 previous games, Kobe.
Yeah. One thing that I think is going to be the same, though, is the end result. The team that destroys the Nexus. I think that is going to be the same. It's not over yet, but...
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing.
Yeah.
Cassante is in the game.
Also, where there is delusion, there is hope. Okay, really good quote.
I would say if G2 wins this, it would be one of the greatest comebacks ever.
Yeah, we should position that now.
Okay, if G2 wins this, it will be one of the greatest comebacks in League of Legends. Cassante goes all out. BrokenBlade looking for the 1v1 against Bin. The Croc with the dominance, though, Ruthless Predator, and as soon as it looks like maybe there's a chance to do Cassante things, Shun reminds him that it's a team game, shows up in top lane, Trinity Force done on the Wukong. SkewMond with experimental Hex Plate on the Trundle, not the most common item to see on this champion, but I guess once he goes in for the ulti, he wants to make sure he can get the Chomp to follow it up. See how well it works.
Speed troll.
Speed troll. I like that. SkewMond, he goes for the Pillar of Filth onto Viper, and Viper says, okay, cool, I guess I'll just stay on this side of the pillar. That's fine.
I mean,
the ulti.
They 2v3'd the G2 bottom lane and jungler, so Viper's like, I mean, I'm more rich now than I was then. I could 2v3 your mid laner and your jungler and your support as well, and take the tower in your face while I'm doing it.
Well, I mean, his ulti is called Transcend Oneself, but I feel like in this game it should be called Transcend Yourself, because as soon as he pops it, anybody looking at him just dies.
Oh, this happened in the bottom lane,
we completely missed this.
This also did happen.
Yeah, we completely missed this. That's just exactly what you would expect to happen from Fed Akali with Gunblade and tier 3 boots from Quest going up against Caitlyn that barely has Collector.
All right, here's a difficult question, though, for chat. Who is your player of the game? Viper, On, or Knight, or even Shun?
That's actually so tough. It's really hard to pick.
Because I'm all for the bottom lane. Because whenever my bottom lane, if enemy jungler ganks you and you're double killing them, as a jungler, I'm like, you guys are both gods. So I guess the really difficult thing comes down which one are you giving it to, and then Knight is also like solo killing everybody. So
I think
could still go Knight.
Currently on is my front runner because he was the Chad Lulu that started it off with the flash for the last auto attack to kill Labrov. I actually think...
Yeah, he was not scared at all.
Yeah.
I'm going, honestly, on. Yeah.
You could cut steel with that Lulu's jawline.
Hell yeah.
Pure Chad behavior in the lane. As now BrokenBlade's going to try to go in. Does find an angle here onto Viper, but Shun's into the back. Finds Cyclone onto 3. BrokenBlade still going after Viper. Rampage for Knight. Viper getting away for now. But BrokenBlade finally puts a kill on the board here for G2. As Shun might just get picked up. Shutdown goes over to Caps. Knight finishes off BrokenBlade. And honestly, this might be a fight still favoring G2. Ultra Mega Fire Kick. G2 just got a 3 for 2 as Bin finally arrives to the fight. It was a 4v5, and that's what G2 needed to have a chance to make something happen. Knight and Bin still looking for more, but the Renekton can't get anything. G2, despite all odds, win the fight.
It was all about creating bounties and then collecting them, Flowers.
The long con.
The bounties collected here. They got Viper, they got On, they got Shun. G2, they're still down 7,000 gold.
Yes, it is a drop in the bucket, but hey, it was an empty bucket before.
Yeah, true. And the bucket had holes in it too. The bucket was rusty, holes in it. Here we go though. Okay, so they try and make the play. They move up onto Viper, and BrokenBlade is able to put so much pressure on him here. Even with the flash from Viper, he can finish it. On tries to flash over too to save him, but in the back line, he makes the kill. And that meant that the front line also got to do work there. SkewMond with his experimental Hexblade beating them down, and Caps got to join in. He got the other shutdown. They get the kill onto Lulu on top of it. So G2 at the very least, we did say we set hard goals.
Yup.
They stopped dying a bunch. Well, they also still kept dying some, but...
Oh boy, Bin down here in a 1v2 in the bottom lane. Cap chasing over the wall, has the Spirit Rush. Pillar of Filth for the slow. Ace of the hole coming around. Bin shut down by Caps on the Ahri. Some sloppy moves from BLG, and G2 are ready to punish. That's the only way you can come back into this game. If BLG gets a little too wild, and you bring him back down to earth. It's still a 6,500 gold lead. It's still sole point for the BLG side. Shin goes in, but the Ultra Mega Fire Kick means he doesn't find exactly what he wants here just yet, but the Wild Growth means Caps is dead. SkewMond wants to get away as Knight goes after Labrov. He's dominating. 3 kills for G2, and it's just that tough, man. They're so far behind that even when they do find these picks, BLG just strikes right back and gets even more. Right back up to an 8K gold lead. Hans is just trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, where's the Herald going? Okay, it's going up to the top side. Viper's just gonna kill the turret normally here in tier 3 mid. Tier 2 up in the top lane dies. Viper is just farming plates. Hans is moving back towards him. It's time for another Herald crash. Okay, BLG took offense to the fact that G2 punished their earlier happy gaming, and now BLG are up to nearly a 5-digit gold lead.
And Knight has 18 stacks on his Medjai's Soul Stealer.
Yeah, it's a big book.
The Knight Classic.
It's like one of those books you'd see like behind a lawyer in a commercial on the bookshelf. Really big.
And Knight has written all the rules of Summoner's Rift in that book.
Yes, he has.
Meanwhile, Bin in the side lane over there did get picked off to kind of start out the chain of events that we saw. But then, you know, that kill gave G2 the hope, and they wrap around to mid lane. But Shun says, you know what, Knight, or excuse me, Caps, you just used your Ahri ultimate to kill off Bin, so you don't have it to get away from my blender. The BLG blender that goes along with the pepper grinder.
Kitchen set. We got an entire. We can put an infomercial together for this. Yeah. I'll tell you what. That could be a really popular item. That blender has a lot of settings, and in this game, it's set to high. They are making sure the pressure stays on. Nearly 10,000 gold lead here, and it is just nothing but problems for G2. 2 minutes from now, it'll also be the Hextech Soul spawning for BLG. As Bin goes after Cap, it's pretty hard for Renekton to like catch Ahri. It's not as hard for Wukong to catch Ahri, but a nice charm means that Shun will not be able to apply lethal threat as G2 move to defend their tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane. BrokenBlade just making some room. The Pathmaker living up to its name for everybody else on the squad to get away.
Yeah, make a path back to base.
Sometimes that's the path you need to take. The path home. BrokenBlade, once again, just trying to move forward here, but it's Viper. ready to DPS him down. BrokenBlade, Pathmaker defensively getting away. Tier 2 turret just gets bulldozed, man. No cozy campfire is going to keep that one alive as BLG dives forward. Not going to overcommit to this. They don't want to use any big cooldowns. They'll be happy taking the tier 2 turret, going up to that over 10,000 gold lead, 21 minutes into the game. Less than 90 seconds now until the Dragon Soul spawns.
What are we cooking over here? He's been seen.
Okay.
So,
Nothing.
snipe minions.
Kitchen's empty. Got him. No cook. Out of groceries.
So, Flowers, we've got 1 minute on the Hextech Soul.
Yeah, that's scary.
Wait a second.
Hold on. We have no minutes on SkewMond, as Knight might actually just try to turn this. Oh, the charm right there to stop him as he wanted to go forward with the R2. Cap survives, and that's the outplay. That charm was perfect to stop the second use of the Akali ulti. Cap stays alive. Knight does end up going 1 for 1. And if you're G2 at this point in this game, a 1 for 1 is Christmas in March.
And even though Knight goes for that kill because it's enemy jungler, guess what? Death timer's lower for SkewMond, and you killed him earlier.
Yeah.
So he'll be back for the ability to at least run to the Hex Gate to maybe rush towards the Dragon Soul. Maybe they give it up anyways.
Well, I mean, hey, both junglers are on 2 items.
He's up now.
The difference is one of them is experimental hex plate and a thrift shop support item.
Yo,
versus
Vandal Pipes is a crazy find at a thrift shop, though.
It's a good find. Don't get me wrong, but Shun's shopping for Gucci bags.
Yeah,
he's got Trinity Force and Sundered Sky. This is some scary stuff. Knight is also now back alive. He doesn't have his teleport to join the fight. That could be important. Remember that when G2 won a team fight earlier, it was because it was a 5v4. Bin wrapping around behind. He's going to use his sweeper to find the ward. Bin has been spotted. Knight has made his way towards the fight now, though. And Shun, alongside Viper and On, are going to go ahead and start up the Dragon. They are forcing G2 to answer them. They don't want to walk into the EU squad. As now Shun jumps forward. SkewMond's going to be your first target. Viper just burning him away, while Bin and Knight have found their way into the back line. Hansama's going to be your first target. Shun is almost dead. He's about to die. Hansama falls, but so does On. The jungler's out of the way. G2, they stop the soul. But Bin and Viper are still fighting. BrokenBlade's all out. G2 are finding yet another fight as Bin tries to scramble back out. He's not going to get away. There's no flash here with the Renekton. G2 might just ace him. Knight gets charmed and he finds 1 kill. He's looking for a little bit more. He needs the damage on the caps. He gets a double. SkewMond with a flash. He goes in for the kill. But Knight says no. Triple kill for the golden left hand of the LPL.
And he's back to 25 stacks just like that on the Medjais. G2 were cooking with this brush, though. This brush right here. Triple trap, and then Caitlyn sitting in the brush starts headshotting everybody, getting a lot of poke damage down. Hansama here, they've got control ward, they have multiple traps. He starts to put the poke damage, even with the redemption here. G2 getting some good early damage, and since BLG are so split, look at the flank from topside. BrokenBlade, he goes up to keep Knight and Bin out of the fight, while the rest of G2 are putting damage onto Viper, Shun, and On. And then they chase down the kills onto On and on to Shun. So BLG actually got kind of distracted and dizzy in their own team fight, but Knight was able to correct all of that.
Yeah, I think Knight's my front runner for player of the game now. Cap jumps into the pit. They want to try to challenge here for the Baron. It's down to 1,000, secured by Shun. G2 moving forward, still trying to stop these guys. BrokenBlade finds Viper, who tries to get away, but that's pressure on Yunara. Another kill for G2. Caps wants Bin as the Renekton again. Remember, he does not have a flash. Dominance Force just to stay alive, but Caps wants more. Sterix Gauge provides Bin with enough HP to continue running for now. Knight going after Labrov. Deep dive from BrokenBlade. They get the kill they want, but it costs BB's life. Knight is still prowling, looking for the opportunity to find something else. It's a Baron for BLG, but they lose 2 in the process for the 1 from G2.
G2 here, even despite this 9,000 gold difference, they're finding some fights for themselves. The Baron is taken by BLG, but Baron was nerfed on this season, so it doesn't give as much gold for your squad. And G2, wait a second, SkewMond should be fine. He's fairly tanky here. I mean, they the critical one was really the dragon fight where they deny the dragon soul.
Yeah.
That brush that they just posted up in and were able to get the dragon soul denier was big for G2's hopes of accomplishing this huge comeback that this game would be if they could do it. Still though, BLG, you know, that Knight has 25 stacks on his Medjai's and it's amplified by a Rabadon's death cap, so like this Akali, it does crazy burst damage. And has to be respected. So BLG still very much in an amazing spot, but our like tantalizing story we were joking about earlier, you know, got a little bit closer of possible angles for G2.
The win percentage is no longer a fraction of a percent, right? It's actually like a 1.
Yeah, they're cooking. You know, maybe some more crit multipliers here. Get another little bit of crit items for Hansama, and you know, hopefully some more headshots.
That's a very that graph is practically a blue rectangle. It's a lot
blue wall,
of blue.
maybe.
Nah, wrong team. They beat them 3-2.
Yeah,
G2 beat them 3-2, but now BLG. Yeah, maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is KC's revenge. This is BLG. Yeah. Maybe that's BLG's buddies. I don't know. But we got 1 minute and 15 seconds until the next dragon spawns. You just said it was the Hextech Soul stop that really was the biggest deal for G2, and now it's time to do it again. It's time to pay the piper. As SkewMond, well, technically he's the piper because he has the Vandal
He's
pipes.
got the back.
Yeah, he's
got the Vandal pipe.
Yeah, he's gonna take the Gromp. He'll go ahead and walk away there. Shen wants to kill that ward, as third in Tofo Strike does not find the knockback onto Viper's Yunara. And we'll see G2 have to move forward as a unit if they want to stop BLG from taking the Drake. BLG, of course, does have priority over the bottom river area. They are there first. They can set up some vision. They can force G2 to check into them. And going back to what you were talking about in the draft, one of the advantages of Caitlyn, part of the character's power is being able to block off entrances towards objective fights. But you can only do that if you're the first ones there. And G2 just don't really have that luxury at this point in time. The bottom river is dark and full of terrors, and G2 do not want to see anything scary. Problem is, they're about to have to face those fears. BrokenBlade, level 16 here on the Cassante. Third in Tofo Strike only hits Shun. It's not really a target. It's going to give you a whole lot here at the start. Knight's back over in the mid lane. Scuttle Crab, focus for BLG. They'll secure that one. Keep your eyes on Knight.
And this brush, look at this brush, dude. They're focusing it again. Triple trap with the control ward.
Okay. G2 still on the approach. Bin taking a big chunk of damage, loses half HP to Caps' Ahri here immediately at the very start of the fight. SkewMond still wants to try to contest here for this Drake. Immediately drops the subjugate. Flash coming out from Bin. He wants to try to kill Caps. He gets back away. Caps goes back in. The Spirit Orb! Beautifully done, but Knight gets revenge, and now G2 is falling. Knight wants the second kill onto Labrov as Shun goes after SkewMond, and BrokenBlade's got to try to fight everybody else on the BLG roster. Triple kill for Knight's Akali. BrokenBlade trying to run. He wants to maybe turn it around. It's the only option he's got, but it's not good enough. Ace for Viper and BLG. They lose Bin, but they'll take everybody else. The bottom lane tier 3 turret will collapse. The mid lane one will do the same, and BLG are on their victory march. No one in G2 colors stands to stop them, and BLG will clean sweep G2 and be the first team at First Stand 2026 to pass the group stage.
3-0 for BLG. And Knight having some fun on that Akali, man. Beautiful to watch.